the assessments attached to the previous class we had. Is there anyone that has not attended to the assessment that is joining this call? No one. That means everyone has done the assignment. Fine. So the number one on the assignment is installation of Figma. And I believe everyone right here has downloaded the Figma application. So let me share my screen so that we can start. We are not going to do much of our explanations today. We are going to do more of practicals. So that's why I actually ask you guys to install Figma so that you can practice things as as you see me do or practice things. You just also try to repeat them on your own system. But while I'm doing things, I would like you to focus on my screen. So when you get to a time when you would have to, try those things on your own, I would give instruction to do that. Then you have the whole week to practice. You get? So let me know, please, if you can see my screen.
Yes, you can
Okay,
see your
fine.
screen.
Okay. So again, my name is Ademuyiwa Sukomi Latif. I'm a senior product designer. And today we are discussing about Figma as a design tool. So we've actually treated some topics to introduce us to UI UX design as a skill. And then Figma is a major tool that UI UX designers use to execute, designs and to perform tasks. So that's why we are actually picking Figma out of other tools, to discuss. Then I would just highlight a few other tools that you can use for you. I believe once you know how to use Figma, you are aside the efforts that you make during the research, that's the preliminary efforts that you make before you start designing. As far as design is concerned, once you master the usage of Figma, you are, on design, you are 90% done. You are okay 90%. So other tools that you might need might probably be, you are trying to to explore third-party app uh to enhance your design in terms of animation, in terms of things that Figma might not be able to do. You are trying to use some other tools. So I know of designers that use After Effects, they use Jitter, they use a lot of other tools just to actually make their work presentable. So when they are presenting their work, their portfolio or their case study, they actually added some touch of animation and other stuff to it in order for the presentation to be attractive and interesting. So, but if you know Figma, you are 90% done. You are 90% okay. So as far as design is concerned, but the general UI UX design, which are a lot of other things, you might need some other tools that are to execute all that. So let's proceed, please. So what is Figma? Figma is a collaborative web application for interface design with additional offline features enabled by desktop application. You can use Figma on Mac OS and Windows OS. So you can actually use MacBook offline on your system, but the the issue is that you might not be able to save your work. Your work might not be able to be saved because Figma saves whatever you do real time while you are connected on internet. You understand? So if you work offline, you might be seeing those things, and something might get wrong with your system, and your system just go off, and eventually you might lost some files. So that means while using Figma, you need to be connected to internet. Do you get that? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, I
We
will
can
get.
hear you.
Understood, well understood.
Okay, fine. So key features of and Figma. Figma is a collaborative tool. It uses vectors. You can actually use vectors on Figma, like, you know, images that can be editable. You can edit. Is it is flexible images that you can, you know, convert from one particular format to another and all that. Then you can also, it also supports AI tools. So even recently, Figma has integrated AI into the interface that you can use AI directly on Figma. You can do prototyping on Figma. This is an interface of Figma here. So this side of the Figma shows file assessment, where you have all your files listed, your pages. Then at the side here, you can also access some more features. The other side here shows the property of any tool that you pick here. So if you draw any tool, anything here, the property will be shown here. And this is where all the tools, this is where you have all the tools. So we're going to treat all the tools one after the other. Then aside Figma, in the Figma environment, Figma ecosystem, there are some other applications that you can find in it. So I believe a lot of you might have come across FigJam and also Slide. That's Figma Slide, while trying to, get on the Figma interface. So you would have seen something like this. This is what we call FigJam. So this is different from this. This is Figma, which you can use to design. You can use to, you can use it also to do your wireframe. You can also do some other things on it. Then, yeah, basically what you do here is brainstorming. This is called whiteboard. So whiteboard, you can do brainstorming, you can do, mind, these are all things you can do here. You can do mind map, you can do flow chart, you can do, timeline, you can do a lot of things. A lot of things are automated here that you just need to click on these tools, then you get them done. This also has AI. You can ask AI to generate a flow for you. You get like a flow of a particular design for you through this app, FigJam. It is called FigJam. Then we have a Figma slide. So the Figma slide is just like PowerPoint. So you can use this for presentation. You can pick templates from here, and then you can also start from scratch. Then the installation of Figma, I believe a lot of you have installed Figma. So if you are trying to install Figma, the first thing you see when you get on the board is this. So you pick between design, FigJam, or slide, or probably if you have a file that you want to import, you can import from here. Do you get that? So then you can have a lot of, if you have worked on different projects, you can see all the projects that you have done so far. Yeah, so you can click, probably you want to open a recent project. Then we have teams. You can create a team project. You can create recently, and Figma stopped people from creating drafts. There's something we have before now that is called draft. You can create a kind of draft file for yourself to design. So the draft will allow you it will allow you to open like 3 pages within the draft. Within a draft file, you open 3 pages, and then the draft would be a standalone file on its own, a standalone file. But now Figma has stopped people from creating draft. You can only create a project team. So I have a lot of project team created here. You can see them here. So if I want to open another one, I can create a new project team and call it, let's say, next gen class. So I have it created here. So I can add people to this team file that I'm trying to create. So somebody should, you guys should type your email on this call. I'll do a copy. I'll copy the email. I'll paste here. You get an invite. Click on the invitation on your email, and then you join me on the board, on this team board. Type your email, please. Yes, keep it coming, please. Okay, keep it coming.
Can't hear you again.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm waiting for you guys to drop your email. So I would add emails of people here so that you can join me on the board. As I'm adding emails here, you can do it later. It's not a must you do it on this interface. You can skip and do it later. I would leave like 1 or 2 emails to be added later so that you guys see how you can add emails probably later. Some of you might not have the email of people that you want to collaborate with at the moment, at the time that you are creating the team. Then you can do it later. So I'll show you how to do that. So I'll leave this last one to be added later. So continue. So once you click on continue, so you see options here. So the first option is starter, which is free. So these are the features that comes with the starter. It helps you can open 3 files, 3 different. You know, I told you draft is just a standalone file that you can open 3 pages inside the file. But Teams will allow you create 3 files within the team and file that you create, same project file that you created. So you can create these, then limited pages is just 3 pages within each file that you create. Then one project. The one project is just that single team project file that you created. So version history, you can recover version history for 30 days only. A lot of times you don't need this version history, but you know, when you work with organization where a lot of people are working on the same board, so sometimes some people might delete something and you want to recover it back. Version history can help you do that. So then there is professional for people that have money, that if you want to pay, you can pay $12 per seat. So $12 per seat means each person that has edit right on the Figma board, you pay $12 for each person. So then FigJam, you pay $3 for FigJam if you want to use FigJam on professional. So for organization pays this amount. So professional and organization subscription will give more features. You can see all the features checked here. It will give more features. But for us, you can do a lot with this starter. A lot. You can do a lot that you will not even know that you are using free stuff. You get, so starter is okay for us. So you just click on choose starter. So yes, so the team is creating. The team project is creating. So when done, you have this interface. Then what you can do is, so you can see it as, this is the whole thing that you can do. So you can click to open within the team to see what is within. So it is empty, nothing here. So if you want to create something within this team project named next gen class, you can come here and create new. Then you click on design. You know, I told you there are 3 major things that you can create on Figma ecosystem. You can create design, you can create FigJam, then you can create a slide. Yeah. So let's create design. So if you click on design, it will open this interface. So this is the board where you start designing. So then on this page here, if probably you are looking for a team project that you have created, you can come here on all projects to see everything here. You can see everything, all the team project that you have created here. This is the recent one that I've just created. If you want to see all, you can click here, the drop down here, then you see all here. You can switch between each of the team project that you have created. This is the one that we just created that I said we can have 3 files within it. So I have all this also created for files, for different files. So you can categorize your project, the creation of that project file based on based on like projects that are connected, that are related. So you can use a team project. You know, I can open 3 different files within this. So maybe I have 3 different projects, or a single project that I want to break into 3 phases. So I can break a single project into 3 phases. Then I can, you know, project phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Then this is what the one of the team project I've just created. I can see some people are already coming in. So these are part of the people that I added. So I mentioned that I'm reserving one seat for somebody that I would later add here. So how do you do that? So you click on share. If you want to add somebody later, probably you did not add that person while creating this team file. So you come here on share, then you paste the email of that person here. So let me go back on the call to copy the last email and paste here. So then you can choose what right you want that person to have. You can choose to give the person edit right, or you give the person on and view right. So basically, everybody that I've created, let me just add this person first. So I'll now check. I'm adding this person to have edit right. So I'll invite. So this last person should check emails. You can check your email also. So and Miss Soma is already here. Every other person should check their emails, please. So all the other people that I've added before now would also have edits right. Miss Soma, please, if you are on your system, come on the board. So I want us to do things together here. So that's why you need to have your Figma installed. Miss Soma, yes. Can you move the square that I just created? Can you move it around? Can you try to move it? Yes, fine. Let's wait for others, please.
I got the email, but I'm not with my system for now. I'll try it
System,
out later.
having system from today is compulsory. Joining the class with a system is compulsory from now. You should be able to participate in all the exercises that you'll be told to do.
Noted.
It's only me and Soma. Ah, it's like every other persons are now with their system. We are with our system. But you are not here now. Hello.
Yeah. It's it for you, sir.
Hello. How many people on this call have Figma installed on their system, please? How many people? You can raise your hand, please. Let me know. So just three. But out of the three, I have just one person on the Figma board. Should we just proceed with this one person on the board? So let's proceed, please. So this is how to collaborate on Figma. So everyone joins, you invite via email. Another way you can collaborate on Figma is sharing link. So just like this, you can copy a link to your design, just like this. So probably if you add a design already, like this particular screen that I have, you make sure you are clicking on it, because if you don't, you are not determining the focus for the person you are sending the link to. So automatically when you click on a focus and you share a link, Figma automatically recognizes the focus that you selected. And when the person clicks on the link, the person lands on the focus. Unless if probably you have a cover page created, like you can create more than one page, 3 pages. So you create a cover page. So, and you make that cover page the thumbnail of your design. So definitely whoever comes on the board will land on the thumbnail page. Then from there, the person can navigate to every other pages that you have on Figma. So I hope that is clear. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So other important things that you need to know on Figma is that these are the tools that you can play around with, and these are major things. This is the powerhouse of Figma. Everything you do on Figma, you start from here. You don't need to do Control S. Your work saves automatically. Just as I mentioned earlier, that it saves in real time as you are working. So far, you are connected to internet. So that is why you need to connect to internet. The only time you may not need internet is probably when you are when you are done with your work and you are you save the work as a local copy. So that local copy, wherever you save it to, it might be in your drive, it might be in your system. You do not need internet to survive. So then another person can upload it on another system. Then before the person can perform anything, the person would also have internet before you can upload it or do anything on it, for Figma to continue to update the changes that you are making on the file. I hope you get that. So then let's try to work on the tools. So the first tools here is, any tool that you see that has this down arrow, that means it has more tools within it. So the first thing is move tool. You can also call it select tool. You use it just as you see what Miss Omar just did when I created the square here. So I told her to move the square around. Miss Omar, can you do that again? Yes, can you see what she just did? So this is the simplest thing that you can do so far on Figma. So automatically when you get on the board, nobody needs to teach you. Sometimes some people even confuse, like you mistakenly delete or you mistakenly move things around. That is why when you have an edit right on Figma and you are working in collaboration with others, you are careful on what you do. Sometimes you might just mistakenly delete or you move things in a wrong place. So you are careful, because when you hold on your mouse and you are trying to do, you might not know when you are trying to move things around. That's why I say it is the simplest thing you do, because you can do it unconsciously. You don't need to be taught on how to do this thing. Miss Oma might not have used Figma before, might not be a Figma user, but I told her to move, but she knew what she was supposed to do. Do you understand? Probably with the knowledge of other tools that she has been using, probably Microsoft Word or any other basic tools that she has been using. So she knew that she's supposed to click and then move things around. So you use this first tool here. That is the first tool that gets activated when you're on Figma by default. When you're on Figma, the first tool that gets activated is the move tool, or we call it select tool, because before you move, you definitely have to what? Select. Do you understand? So within the move tool, we have the hand tool and we have the scale tool. So the hand tool, what the hand tool does is you can use the hand tool also to move things around, but this time around, it's not going to move your focus. It's going to move the whole page around. The hand tools is going to move the whole page around. Do you understand? So unlike the move tool that moves just the focus, which can be anything that you have designed on the page. So use the hand tool probably when you are lost on the page and you are trying to search for the focus. Maybe the focus is lost, just like this, and you are trying to look for the focus. You can use the hand tool to look for the focus. Then we have the scale tool. The scale tool does something relating to move, because you can use move, aside using the move to move things around or to select, you can use that same move tool while activated. You can use it to enlarge and what? Reduce a particular shape. You can do the reduction that you can do it vertically, you can do it horizontally, or you do it diagonally. So let's look at drawing. When you want to draw a shape, probably you have a shape, perfect square drawn, and then you don't want that shape to be distorted. You want it to remain perfect square, but you want the size reduced. What do you do when you're trying to use this select tool to do that? You hold down your shift key while trying to reduce, not to make the tool, not to make the shape distort. You want it to maintain balance, maintain the proportion. Do you understand? So you can, what I just did, holding down the shift key, I don't need to hold down the shift key if I want to use scale tool to achieve the same thing. So I'll just click on the scale tool rather, and without holding the shift key, I can scale the shape down, and I can also enlarge it. Do you understand? I can enlarge it or scale it down. So without holding the shift key, and the shape will not distort. It will still maintain the dimension. The dimension. Do you understand that? So then the next tool is called the frame tool. Within the frame tool, I told you when you see this arrow, it shows that there are other things also attached to it. So the frame tool is the most important of all of these things here. And the frame tools is what we will be using mostly in our design, because the frame tool is what will create the foundation for every other thing that you want to start to design, be it mobile design, mobile application, web application, or whatever it is that you are creating. And you continuously use the same frame tools to create sections within a particular design that you are creating. So frame tool, please, I want us to pay close attention to this particular section, please. When you click on the frame tool, and when you click on any other tool, starting from move tool, you notice that something is changing at this left side, right side of the screen. If I change this to hand tool, if I change this to scale tool, you see something change here. So it shows that this right, sorry, this right side of the screen changes based on the selection of tools that you make here. It changes based on whatever tool that you select here. So when I click on, let me delete this. When I click on the frame tool, it changes to this. And then what this is showing me is that it's showing me the different frame sizes or frame type that I can choose. Let's say I want to design application for phone. I can click within the phone frame sizes. I'll see different sizes of frame here. Did you get that? Sorry, a call came in. So I'll see different sizes of frame here. So then I have, oh, give me a few minutes, please. Let me just tell this person that I'm busy. Allow you, please, you can mute, you can pause the recording. Thank you.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, please. I'm here. Okay, we can proceed. Allow you, please. You can start the recording. So I believe you guys are getting these things that I'm explaining. You can probably, raise your hand or you talk if you are not getting anything clear. I'm trying to, I know a lot of us are, seeing all these things for the first time. So I'm trying to break everything down to basic. So this is frame. So when you click on frame on phone, you see different phone frames that you can select from. So you can, I would recommend that you start up when you are trying to design a frame, because the frame that you don't just come here and select a frame. The design that you are working on will determine. Then, sometimes the client or the platform you are designing for will determine. Maybe you are designing for iPhone or you are designing for Android. So all those things are factors that determines what kind of mobile screens that you use. But for a start, you can use iPhone 13. You can use iPhone 13 mini. So once you click on iPhone 13 mini, that is 375 by 812. So once you click on it, it draws the frame automatically. Wow, somebody is trying it already. Fine. So it draws the frame automatically by itself, just like this. Don't increase or decrease or change this size. This is the automatic screen that everyone that uses iPhone 13 mini, this is the screen. This is the size of your screen. So you are customizing a design for that particular phone or any other phone that has similar or close dimension to it. Do you understand? So once you draw your frame for a particular design you're making and you have specified the frame you want to choose, you've chosen it. You don't need to do like this. You just, did you see what I just did? You don't need to distort it or, you don't need to do that. So the only time you might need to probably, increase the length is when you are trying to show illustration of probably a screen that has so many things within it. When you are working on your phone, you scroll, 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 scroll. Sometimes there are a lot of information, so you can drag it down to continue the design to show illustration for scrolling. Now, after the user has exhausted the provided screen, which is the height is 812. After the user has finished scrolling through the first fold, they can still scroll vertically to see more things. Users cannot scroll horizontally on the whole screen on a mobile phone, even on a web, on the whole screen. You cannot scroll beyond the 375 if that is what your screen dimension is set. The only thing you can do is you scroll a section within the screen. Maybe, carousel. You all know, the carousel on Instagram, for example. Now, maybe somebody has uploaded more than one images on Instagram. You do carousel. That is the only thing that can happen. But this whole screen cannot scroll vertically beyond this, but it can scroll horizontally beyond this. That is why you don't just draw a screen size, and then you start increasing or decreasing it anyhow. Do you understand that too? So aside the mobile, there are other screens that you can draw. You can draw desktop, you can draw tab. I will recommend for desktop, I will recommend 1440 by 1024. Just this one. So this is the recommended screen. So as I mentioned for mobile, you cannot increase it beyond. You have specified the limit of the width. The only thing that you can increase is the height, because on a mobile screen on the website, you can continue to scroll, 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 and scroll. You do understand that there's allowance for that. The only time you want to scroll the width is when you are scrolling within a section. You are scrolling a carousel within a section. I hope everyone gets that clear. So frame, you can use frame, and then sometimes you might not have specification on what you're drawing for a frame. Let's say, for instance, you are designing a website, and this is the website already, and you just want to continue drawing different sections within the website, give the sections different colors, So, and within this same section, I want to draw a shape where I will fix my image. I did not go did not come to this screen to select a particular frame size. I just click on frame and I just drew the, you know, I just use this to draw something like this. You can do that also. But for screen sizes that are specified, like you want to design for website or mobile, they have specific size. You cannot just come here and draw a size that is not existing. Probably you form it by yourself. It's not possible. Those ones are specified, but you want to draw a shape within the mobile app or a website, you can just come here and draw. And that also can be guided by your grid layout. There's something here that we're still going to treat called layout grid. So you can use layout grid to guide the drawing of every other things that you are drawing within the section or within the website or a mobile frame that you have drawn. I hope that is clear. Then other things here is section. So section, you can use section to categorize your screens. So this would, you know, it will be better, you know, you better understand it when I have a project that I've actually done something like that. I have a lot of confidential projects here that I would not want to open because this recording is going on YouTube. Okay, what can I open? Okay, so let's say for instance, I have this is a website page created, and this is for a mobile screen. Let me put a background. Let me put another background here. So these are different designs that I've done. Then I want to categorize all the design all together. Who is drawing section? Please don't draw section yet. You don't draw section within a frame. It's not possible. So what you do when you want to draw a section is you draw the section to categorize. This is the old screen here, Abby. So you can give that section a color. You can give a color that is different from your main design so that the design doesn't get synced inside the section. So then you can name it. This is, let's say, this is let me say this is onboarding. This is onboarding flow. So then you have another design flow here. You name this one. This is say this is, let's say this is payment flow. Payment flow. So you draw another one. This is transaction history. Did you get that? So this, if you have a lot of screens designed already, then you want to sectionalize your screens. You break them down into sections so that whoever is coming on the designs on your design will understand the design by flow. So you understand that this is what this flow is. Everything that relates to onboarding will be here. Everything that relates to payments will be here. Everything that relates with transaction history would be here. I hope that is clear. That is what the section does for you. And the slides, you can use this to, you know, divide. It's just like frame also. You just want to draw like broken lines to probably divide something. So just like this now, I want to draw a broken line just to, you know, divide. This is different, just to specify difference between this and every other thing. So that is all for this. I want us to be very fast with this thing because I don't want to spend too much time treating this, what is it called, tools, because we still have a lot to do. Then this is shapes, basic shape. This is very common in most of the applications we use: rectangle, line, arrow, ellipse, polygon, star. You can also upload images right from here. So let's say I want to upload image. That's the last, I chose the last option. Then wherever your image resides, you can select from there. Let me look for an image. Okay, let's say I want to import this image. I'll just open, then it will show the image just like this. Then I would just drag my mouse and it brings the image here. The other ways you can bring image on Figma, actually, you can directly drag the image into the Figma. You can drag it directly into the Figma. You can also do other things. But as we go on, we'll be explaining that. But this is one of the easiest way you can bring in image into your Figma. You can also use plugin to bring in image into Figma. I would also mention that when we get to that. So a rectangle, that was the first thing I drew when I got here. So I drew a rectangle. I told you that if you want this rectangle to be perfect, you want it to be perfect square. What did I say you do while drawing it? I mentioned something.
Oh, shit.
You hold
Hello,
the shift
you hold
button.
down you hold the shift key on your keyboard. That's fine. Yes. So if you want it
Yeah.
perfect, but if you don't necessarily want it to be perfect square, you just click on it, then draw it anyhow you want it, and that's all. You get, so that is the same way. The same principle is applicable to line, arrow, ellipse, and or if you want this ellipse to be a perfect square, you hold down the shift key. But if you don't mind anything to be drawn, you just draw it just anyhow. I believe that is clear. Then there is this pen tool. This pen tool helps you to draw freehand. Maybe a lot of us might be good in drawing. So you want to draw something or you want to trace, you can use this freehand to draw. So you can draw a shape that is not existing, a non-existing shape, just like this. You can draw it and give it a color. So we can do that. Then within this pen tool, we have pencil also. If you are very good, maybe you have a mouse, and then you want to draw somebody that you like. So you want to draw just like this. You can use this pen tool to draw. You can put eyes and make the person smile. Do you understand? So you can use this pen tool to draw. So they are just freehand tool that you can use to draw out something. You can, if you are very good with illustration, you can draw out a lot of illustrations right on Figma. If you are very good with that. Then text. This is another powerful tool, very important. So you use this basically, as the name implies, to type text. So sometimes when you click on text and you are typing, this frame, this interface is very, very wide. See, if I continue to scroll just like this, I can get lost on it. It's like a whole field, a whole football pitch. Do you understand? I can get lost on it. If I want to get myself back, I can come here and say fit, zoom to fit. So it gets me back. So when you are trying to type, please, if you are a first timer, if you are using this thing for the first time, pay attention to this thing. Listen very carefully. If you are trying to type text, and the size of your text is very small compared to the zoom, compared to the rate of the zooming that you have. Maybe you zoom out so much that you can only see few little objects from afar, and you are trying to type. It's not that thing is not working. A lot of students that I've taught in the past, they'll say this thing is not working. It's typing. This text is typing. I'm clicking on my keyboard. It's typing, but you cannot see it because you are very far from it. What you do is you zoom in. You zoom in, and what some people will do is they will increase the size. They will give it a very big size. It is very wrong, because this 12 might be a perfect size for what you're trying to do, but because you are zooming out, you might not be able to see it well. Do you understand? For example, when you are designing on a mobile screen now, this 12 is one of the important sizes that you use. You understand? In typing maybe subtext for sub header, for a particular header, you can use 12 to type sub headers and the likes like that. So, and you know, you are not zooming in to see it clearly. You think you are not typing it right, or it's not big enough, and you are giving it a bigger size. Your design will not look fine. It will not look nice because you are giving it too big sizes. Do you understand? So there will be a specification of sizes of text to use. As time goes on, I would explain that also to us. Do you understand? So then yes, this is also comment. So while collaborating, while trying to do things together, you might want to comment, probably call out somebody's on that you are collaborating with. Let me tag Miss Oma here. Maybe Miss Oma did something I want to question her on. Soma, what does this mean, please? Miss Oma will receive an email that I've requested to know what something is. Yeah. So Miss Oma, you can just type something under it to respond to me. Click on it and respond to me, please. Are you there, please? Miss Oma, please do that fast. Hello, are you there? Hello, is Miss Oma on this call? Okay, yes, she just typed something. So she can also respond back to that question. I decided to try out something or try something out. Do you get that now? So that is why you can continuously query, your colleague while you are working together. You can even do a live messaging like this. Let's do this together, guys. Do you understand? So this is live messaging. How do you do the live messaging? Click on the front, what is this thing called? Backslash. That backslash, you click on it. I don't know where it will be located on your keyboard though. It's located immediately after full stop on MacBook. So you can look for that. So the backslash, you click on it, then you type. Exactly. Miss Oma just got that. Exactly. Perfect. You can see what she's trying to do. So you can also try out instant messaging will delete after a few seconds. It will not store, but comment will save. In the next 5 years, this comment will be here if I did not dissolve it. I can dissolve the comment here. If it's not dissolved, it will be here in the next, in decades, it will still be there. So far, this file is existing. But instant messaging will delete immediately when you type it. Do you understand? So then the last thing here is the AI that I mentioned. Then within that AI, you can just search anything here, just anything you want, just search. We have the assets, we have the plugins. The plugins are, supporting system that helps you get your work done faster. Do you understand? So you can use plugin to bring in image, as I mentioned earlier. You can use it to do every other thing. Like Unsplash is an image plugin, so I can use it to import an image into my design. So it's running. This is how plugin runs. So then probably I want a technology image that portrays technology. So I can have different images that portray technology. So I'll click while I'm clicking on a frame, I can click on the image, or I click outside. I don't click on anything and I click on the image. The image will just drop somewhere on the interface. But if I click on a frame, the image will drop inside the frame. Do you get that now? So you can see where the image drops when I did not click on anything. So that is how to use plugin. That's just one out of a lot of plugins. And then we have also Icon Scout. So these are basic plugins that you'll be using. We have Iconify rather. So Iconify, you can use Iconify to bring in icons. We treated icon, image, illustration. This is when you start doing all these things practically. So you type anything you want. I want love. I want an image that says, sorry, icon love. You have a lot of illustrations of love. Probably you want it like this, you want it like, you understand, anyhow you want it. So you can, let me type arts. Sorry, arts. So yeah, this is more descriptive. So you can have, so all this like that you click on Instagram, this is how they brought about the icon that you are tapping. This is it here. Do you understand? So then, so that is all. So let's treat, this is where your pages is. You have page 1, you can create 3 pages maximum on free. So you can do a flow, some flows here. Then you can break it to do other flows here. Maybe you are designing for admin, you are designing for user, and you are designing for probably, business people. You can do, this is for, users. You can rename it. This is for, business, and this is probably the admin, just to categorize the flow of your design. So this first screen here is for the design, is for the users. This is where you do your design for the users. So these are major things that you need when designing on Figma. So then other things are just what we have here, which are basic things that we can see on all the other applications that we have. So everything here, most of what we have here has been treated here. Zoom in, zoom out, all those things has been treated. The icon, plugin, blah, 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 everything has been treated here. Then we need to focus more on this tool, and then the property of each tool. We need to focus more on it. The time is this is already after 9. So, but basically, this class, the takeaway from this class is basically how to use Figma. And I believe everyone on this call can now use Figma properly, or on a minimal level. You can use Figma. So you can draw a frame for mobile, and then you can draw a frame for web design. So I'm going to give an individual assessment for every one of us. So, but before I do that, I would like to, do some things on my for you guys to see. So probably, so somebody is trying to move something. Okay, let me try to replicate. So I would suggest that you start with is start replicating existing designs. That is how to get things done rightly, because most of the existing designs, especially those that follow the right principle of designs, they have gone through a lot of stress, a lot of effort, research and all to put up their product out. So if you are trying to practice at the beginning stage, practice with their own design, with time you get to learn about things that they have gone through. And while doing that, also you are also trying to learn how to create the overall experience, how to know how to create the overall experience while designing, the good overall the experience for the user while designing, starting from the stage of research and all that. So the assessment after the last class, actually, if you do that assessment, you understand how to empathize with user, how to the stages of design thinking. You understand HDC very well. You understand and a lot of things about how to do things right when you are trying to design. You understand the principle of the how to characteristics of good designs. Yes. So what are the characteristics of good design? What do you see in good design before you know that it's good, is a good design? You must enjoy it, the accessibility, enjoyability, it must be usable. Do you understand all those things? You would understand them. So let's try to replicate if I cannot finish it, definitely you guys would also have to replicate designs. I might have to give you designs to replicate. That's the assessment after this class. So I would just look at a website. Let's try out Piggyverse. Let's try out Piggyverse websites. I like Piggyverse because it's simple. It's very easy for beginner to try out. Then another website is Kuda. That is simple, that is beginner can try out, is also Kuda. Then another one is Piggyverse, Kuda. Let me check. Let me check Shotlass. I think Shotlass is also quite easy, though you might not need to bother yourself so much about all these illustrations and animations. So you might just focus on what you can do. Let's also try, I think these three should be fine. These three should be fine. Okay, let's try out Piggyverse. So how do you try it? So a lot of you might be asking that question, how do I pick this website and then to replicate it? In two ways. You can be looking at it right from here and be replicating it, but that might not be easy. The best way is just use a plugin. I would like you all to download this plugin, Go Full, on your system. You just download it on your Google Chrome. Go full. This is it. Go full. Yeah. Can you see it? Go full. So once you download it, click on it and use it to, it will automatically help you, you know, get this full screen. You didn't get this properly. Let me try it again. It will help you get the full screen of a particular website. I think it's better now. I think it's better now. So I can copy directly from here. I can zoom and copy directly from here, copy image and come back and paste here. This is another way to, you know, to get image on your on Figma. You can just basically copy, and so you can give it the same frame. I said 1440, the same frame that you want to give to your design. You can give it the same frame. Then you can, I hope all of you, you're following. Then you can draw a frame. First thing you do, please draw a frame. The frame is the base of every other thing that you do. Draw this frame. Then I mentioned that you should use 1440. The 1440 is here, right here. So you click on it. And I told you that you can drag it vertically. You can increase the size vertically, but you cannot drag horizontally. Then you start by copying everything. The first thing you copy is the layout grid of Piggyvest. So let's copy the layout grid first. So this is the layout grid. You click on the plus, then you change this to column, and then you click on this, and 12. The layout grid, the column of website is always 12. So you give it 12. This is the count. This stuff is the count. Then you have the margin. The margin is the space that is here before anything starts at all. Before the beginning of anything, the space that you want to provide between the edge here and before anything starts. And then the space that you want to provide after everything ends here and the last thing here is called the margin. So I want to set a margin for it. So let me say 140. So you can set anything as your margin. Basically, I use 110 sometimes. I want to place it probably inside that frame to ensure that I get the perfect margin. I'm placing it inside the frame. I will remove it back later. Then I click back on the frame to ensure that I'm copying exactly. I think it is not yet there. I want to use this Piggyverse logo to get that. So let me try 160. I think 160 is close. Let me try 162, 162, 164. Yes, perfect. So it's 164. Then you determine what is it called? The gutter. The gutter is the space between a shape drawn within the design and the other. The space between this shape drawn and the other shape that is close to it. So this now, I can say the gutter should be, let me just say 32. Sometimes I use 20, sometimes I use 24. So there's no strict rule around your layout grid. So because we are copying this design, so that this design will look exactly like Piggyverse, that's why I have to copy their layout grid. If I'm doing it on my own, I might not use this style of layout grid. Do you understand? So then the next thing is I'll start breaking down my design. There's something we call atomic design principle. Atomic design principle is just by trying to approach your design from the smallest unit of the design. Like this is the smallest unit, which can be the button. This is another button. This is another component. This is another component. This is another component. From the smallest component. So I'll start approaching my design from using that side. So I would start by providing the logo. Let me come here on Piggyverse and download the logo. Let me start by downloading the logo. I can copy the image right from here and I can just paste it. Make sure that you're not clicking on anything before you paste, because if you click, it will replace it. So this is one unit. This is one atom right here. So I make sure I move it close to it so that the logo size is also just like it. So this is too big. I might need to reduce. So I make sure that this scale, this ratio aspect is clicked to lock the dimension. If I did not close lock it, look at what I will happen. Let me say 160. It will distort the shape. Can you see? But if I lock it just like this, and I say 160, so it will automatically scale every side of this of the shape. Then I want to start typing text. Save. So another thing I want to do is I want to inspect the font that Piggyverse use so that by font the design will also look like it. So I mentioned something in the last class that you can use to inspect fonts. Can somebody remind me that thing? Can you remind me what I mentioned that you can use to inspect font?
Font Ninja.
Font Ninja. Thank you so much. Yes. So I still have the Font Ninja here. So I'll just go full is to screenshot the full screen of the design that you are trying to replicate. The Font Ninja is to inspect the font. So this is the name of the font here, plus Jakarta, and then yeah, they use plus Jakarta here. So let me see if I have that font, please. So I would check if I have it here. This is where you change your font after typing the text. You click on the text, then this is typography and font Jakarta. I might not have it. It's not a must. I have that for plus Jakarta rather. Plus Jakarta. Yeah, I have it. So this is the font right here. Yes, this is the font right here. So you see that my design will look so much like Piggyverse because I'm copying everything. Like it's like word for word. So what is the size? I might even bring it close to it so that I would give it the exact size. Majorly they can use 16. So I'm recommending this majorly 16. So what happened here is they reduce the line width, the line spacing of the text. Instead of 0, probably they said -4 to shrink it, to bring it together. So -4. So that is what they use here. Then instead of regular, you can say medium. Do you understand? So save. Then this same text, I can duplicate it just like this. I can even convert this to component. I will explain what component is to us. I'll create components so that this will be the mother of other things that I'll be creating. Then I would just create every other thing from it. So if I want to make change to all these things, I can make that change right from the component, the main component. Invest. Then, so this component I can make this. So I can just do this. So I can change this to stories, FAQ. This issue I will get it solved when I convert everything probably to auto layout, or this spacing that is, the extra spacing is easy to resolve all that when I join everything together. Let me just wait till then. So it's showing us something like this. I'm trying to look for the functionality here, but it's not working here until I do that. So then I told you are approaching your design with what principle? What principle are we using in approaching our design? Hello, are you there? Hello, are you still there? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
I mentioned a principle that I'm using in this design. I said atomic design principle. That I'm approaching my design by starting the design from the smallest unit, from the smallest component, trying to do them one after the other. Then eventually I'll bring them all together. The stages of atomic design principle is atom, molecule, organism, just like in sciences that we do periodic table, atom and other science terms. atom, molecule, organism, and all that. So atom is the smallest unit. So the smallest unit of your design also is the atom, which this can represent an atom. This can also represent, and each of these can represent atoms. Then if 2 or 3 or more atoms comes together can form a molecule. Then if different molecule comes together can form organism and all that. So I'm using that principle. Then I can, bring all these things all together because they are related. They are tests, they are tabs, they are navigation tabs. You understand? I can auto layout. Auto layout is shift A, or you right click and add auto layout just like this. So now I can, click on each of it, as I mentioned earlier, and fit it and make it fill the, then I would also click on this and, make it org. This is still not working. I don't know why. I don't want to waste too much time trying to, set up things. This thing is, yeah, I'm trying to remove the extra spaces. Yes. Okay, I think we are cool now. So this now is combination of different atoms, which can be molecule. You get it? So then I want to type I want to do the button, sign in. So then the button has something around it, just like this. So I can use auto layout also to form that. I'll do shift A, then I would, do stroke, apply stroke to it, the outline. Then the outline, I will apply this corner radius to it. I can give it, let's say 16, and check 16 is too much. Let's say 8. It's too small. Let's say 10. If you are these things, we deal with even number. You can say I'm not mentioning 9, 7 or so. I'm dealing with even number. Let's say 12. So I think 10 is perfect. So all these things can be set based on the project specification, the specification of the design system or style guide that you have created for a project will determine all these sizes. I'm just doing this randomly because I'm trying to copy a particular design. If I'm to design from scratch on a new project, I'll plan all these things properly to specify what size should this be, what spacing should I put before and after it, up and down, and all those things. Then the space that should be before and after will be controlled. And once you apply auto layout to an object, you see this particular face at the right side of the screen. Then you can, control the horizontal spacing or the vertical spacing. So let me say 20. If that will not be too much, that's too much. Let's say 16. Yeah. So this is the first button. Then the next button I can draw from here also. I'll just say create free account. Then I change this, instead of stroke, I remove the stroke. I change it to fill. Then the color, I can inspect color. Before I even continue, I can, bring out the colors from this project out by using this color picker. I can pick out this color so that I'm using the exact color in the design. I can pick out all the colors using this color picker. I can pick out all the colors. So I can even save the colors here. Instead of having to come here to select them, I will just get them saved here. I'll just be picking them from there. I'll get there where I'll show you how to do that. So I don't want to give you guys too much information in this class. So let me just copy the link, or I can click here and directly click on the color picker and click here. So and then I turn this to white. So this and this also can be a molecule. So the spacing should be 8. Then I bring everything together to form organism. This molecule, another molecule together to form an organism. So all this can be the navigation bar at the top here. So we'll give who remember what we gave to this margin? What was the margin? 164. Don't let me waste too much time. It's 164. The margin is 1. So you can give this also 164 space, horizontal space 164 to create the margin. Then you can give let's say 24, if that would not be too much for the vertical spacing. So with this, you create the navigation bar already. Now to make the navigation bar match properly with the frame, you bring it into the main frame. This is the mother frame. We will bring every other thing that will be drawing into this mother frame. So to make it match well with this and position it properly, you can extend it. So to make it have the same size, then whatever it is inside, you can use this feature here, auto, to to spread it across the whole frame. So it will, since this thing is in center, it's not in center. Since it's not in center, I would auto layout this and this together so that I can shift this close to it manually, just like this, and click on this auto, or manually input a figure. Let me give it 52. You get, I manually input a figure. Then I can inspect the background, or I just click on this frame, this background here. I click here, then click this to inspect the background. So if you want to see your design clearly, you can remove this, you can close this, what is it called? The layout grid, and on it. This layout grid is not going to be on your design. It's not going to be on it forever. You are just using it to position your design well. I use it to position, to determine where this should start from and where this should stop. Do you understand? That is how you do for every other thing that you draw or you design within this frame. Do you understand? So if you are done if this thing is done, probably you are done using the layout grid. You can close. You don't delete it. You close it by clicking this eye. So you close it. Then you can proceed. So I still need it, so I will bring it back. So I'll just do the hero section. Then I would record probably some other parts. I might not be able to complete it. So the assessment is just for you to. I'll break you guys into groups. So then there will be a link sent to the group that you guys will submit your assignment into. So you have your group created, then you provide the assignment based on group. So then I want to bring this image in here. So I can use frame to bring image in just like this. I can, so I think the image should not be more than this. So because I might not get this exact image, let me just use an image that we have here. Let me turn this thing. Let me flip it. Let me just use it. Copy. Then I paste it here. Or instead of doing that, I can bring it just like this. Let me do it the way you guys will be familiar with. I like having my image directly positioned inside a frame. That's why I like copying. If I do this now, if I bring it inside it like this, I really do not like the feeling, because the frame will not be able to have control over the frame, over the image. So I like copying the image just like this. I'll copy it here, click on this and click copy. Then I'll click on the frame here and paste it directly inside. So I'm able to, the frame, if I try to reduce and enlarge, the frame controls the image. Then I can apply a radius here, let's say 32 corner radius. Then I can apply stroke, white stroke, and this white stroke can be 20. 20 is too much, can be 12. If that is not too much, then white. That should be too much. Let's say 8. Yes. So you can bring every other thing in. You can use frame also. I like using frames a lot. I barely use rectangle to draw things in my design, because frame gives my design control. I have control over my design. Let's say 8. You get. So I can type things inside this stuff. Let me just type anything just to make it fast. you know. So I can duplicate the same thing across, just the way they place it here. Let me just do it this way. Then I can type the text. The better way to save and invest. So you can increase the size of this, probably 48. Then probably bold. Make sure it is aligned with this line. You map it with that line. So then I can do the subtext. The subtext should be probably 16 or 18. Then it should be regular. So the subtext is Piggy versus Epps over 5 million. So I think it is 24. Yes, I think this should be 20. Yes, and then the spacing here should be 130%. No, that's too small. So 160%. I think this is fine. Then I can auto layout this together. I can bring in, buttons here. I'll just draw shape to represent the button. 16. I'll just draw black shapes to represent the button. This is the other button. So I can bring in this green, the blue stuff at the top here also, and bring it in. Can apply the color from here. The color is saved here already, so I can apply it. Sorry. So I think it is properly round. I can put the component inside it also, and I can continue just like that to complete. Let me remove this thing. Let me close it. I can just continue just like that till I would complete the design. Do you understand? So this is basically what you will be doing. You'll be replicating in the instruction of the assessment. You get what you are supposed to replicate. So I'll provide the website that you're supposed to replicate for this week assessment. So I think we should end this class here. This is 9:31 already. So there will also be a link that will be provided for us to ask questions in case we have things that are not clear to us. So thanks so much for joining this class, and this will be the end of the class today. Thank you. Hello, Ola, are you on the call? You can end the call, please.